I talked in my previous video a little bit about the kind of ethnically diverse group of friends that I have growing up. But I want to talk a little bit now about another kind of diversity of thought. There is an old adage that says the right, talking about right wing versus left wing, right leaning versus left leaning, right wing being more freedom, left wing being more government control. And generally, I am a person who thinks that the truth and justice and just correctness in general leans more toward the right than the left, but never all the way, because all the way to the right would be complete chaotic breakdown, whereas all the way to the left would be 1984 George Orwell. So people generally don't want one extreme or the other. I lean more toward the right, though. But there's an old adage that says the right thinks of the left as people with bad ideas. The left thinks of the right as bad people with ideas. Now, this is something that I haven't experienced much personally in my life. I don't really see this much unless I go on the internet, onto Twitter, onto Plebbit, Twatter, Plebbit, BuzzFeed. Can't really think of a good one for that off the top of my head. Places like that. But in my life, I've had quite a few friends who were fairly left-leaning. People who definitely leaned heavier into government control, of giving people less, of giving the general public, random, Joe Schmoes, less leeway in their own lives, thinking that going more in that direction is correct, and I don't fault these people for that. Because as another saying goes, think of the average person, now realize that half the people are stupider than that. It's not really how it works when you consider bell curves and all that, but if we're talking about literally the median person, then yes, but but in any case, I have quite a few friends who are far more left-leaning than myself. Some former friends, just people that I haven't really talked to in a while, some that I still talk to from time to time. None of these people that I've encountered personally, that I encountered and got to know before the topic of politics had ever come up, ever seemed to think of me as a bad person. They always seem to think of me as a person with, bad ideas, to put it bluntly, or to put it negatively. Well-meaning, but doesn't really know how to enact those good intentions, right? One phrase that I see a lot on Twitter is from leftists is, I don't know how to explain to you that you have to care about people. Well, you don't. I already do, as do most conservatives, as do most Republicans, as do most right-wing leaning people. The thing is, we both care about people, right? Like, take your standard, slightly left of center left, not far left, not leftist, cult mentality, but take your average, farther left than center left, because I'm a little bit further right than center right. So take, the person whose absolute value, if we make the right wing mathematically positive and the left wing mathematically negative, and then a perfect centrist would be 0. Take a person who has the same absolute value as me, but flip the sign. Or, doesn't really matter which one, but which one is positive or negative. But basically, take someone with the same absolute value as me, but flip the sign. We both care about people. We just disagree on how to care for people, right? My ideas generally tend to go the way of get the government out of the way and let people take care of things themselves, as long as they have the means to do so. That's where I stop in terms of going towards the right. That's why I'm not all the way right, is I say, get the government out of the way and let people take care of things themselves to the furthest extent possible, or feasible, or reasonable. And then you have people who say, let the government take care of things to the furthest extent possible, or feasible, or reasonable. There are some people I know who will say, put as much power as we can into the government without letting them become completely totalitarian and controlling every aspect of our lives down to the minutia. The issue that I have with that, the reason why I don't think that works, why I think it's a bad idea, again, to put it negatively or frankly, is because you give an inch, they take a mile. Once you give the government some power, they're not going to let it go. And that's what a lot of people don't think about, is they don't think, if we make hate speech laws, where the government is allowed to illegalize certain speech because it hurts our feelings or it hurts people in some way or we don't like it, they don't realize that they're not going to give that up. So once a new government comes in that thinks the opposite of they do, they're going to use that same power that they already have against them. We're seeing this already with progressive but anti-establishment YouTubers having their channels demonetized and taken down. But the idea that of seeing people as bad people with ideas, that's not something that I've really experienced personally myself, like I said. It's something that I really only see once you get onto the realm of places like Twitter or Reddit or other, popular websites where people congregate, because I think a lot of people go to those places so they can stop thinking and just belong. And I'm not saying this is just the left-wing or left-leaning people doing this, to be fair. But it is something I see happening more on that side. At least that's how I see it. Could be my own personal bias. Not ruling that out at all. But take Parler, for example. People were saying, oh, well, Parler's just going to become a right-wing echo chamber. Okay, fair enough, but at the same time, you said, if you don't like it, make your own Twitter. Well, people went and we went and made our own Twitter, and now the regular Twitter wants it taken down. They want to use the government and use technological monopolies to take it down. It's like, we did what you said. We made it. We didn't like it, so we made our own Twitter. Now you're trying to take that away from us? Well, at that point, it just becomes about control, doesn't it? I had made another video where I talked about cross-examining yourself, playing devil's advocate against yourself. And this sort of ties into that a little bit. When you see people proposing economic policies that you think are disastrous, your first thought should never be, this person doesn't care about people, and I don't know how to explain to them they need to care about people. No, start from the assumption that they care about people. And then there are two possibilities, right? So let's say you're a left-leaning person, and you look at my laissez-faire economic policies, my stance toward deregulation and things like that, and you think, this is bad for people. Instead of saying, this is a bad person with ideas, say, this is a person with bad ideas, a person with ideas that I think are bad. And then, once you start from the assumption that I care about people just as much as you do, well, now there's two possibilities. Possibility A is that I'm missing some critical piece of information as to why my ideas are bad and yours are good. Which goes along with another old phrase, never attribute to malice what can easily be explained through incompetence. Because now, at worst, for me, I'm just somebody who's missing the critical piece of information that you have that I don't, as to why my ideas are the bad ones and yours are the good ones. Or the other possibility is that I have some critical piece of information that you are missing as to why your ideas are bad and mine are good. And that goes back into the same old cross-examining and cross-examining your own ideas and thinking to yourself, why am I on the right side? Why is my side right? Or why are my ideas right? Because a lot of people will say, well, I don't like to pick sides. But, okay, let's say we're not talking about sides, but we're talking about ideas. Why are your ideas correct? Why are your economic policies good? What is the evidence? What is the logical argument for why your ideas are the good ones? Remember, we're starting from the assumption that you and I both care about people equally. Now, which of us is correct about how to care for people? Is it me or you? And if it's you, why is it you? Why are my ideas bad? Why are your ideas good? Is there any sort of modification that you can make to my ideas that will make them good? Any sort of tweaking that you can put on my ideas so that my ideas still are the ones implemented in the end, but they are modified from my original version of them? Because when you think about it, that's a lot how laws are passed in Congresses, both state and federal. You know, the House or the Senate will draft a bill, they'll send it to the other side, they'll make revisions, send it back and forth, they go back and forth, they talk about it, they vote on it, and eventually it makes its way up to the governor or president, who will either sign it or veto it. If they veto it, it can go back for the 2/3 vote if it's federal, or in certain states, I don't know if all states do that, etc. So, if I care about people, and I want deregulation and capitalist economies, and I want businesses who take risks that don't work out to fail, and I want investments that don't work out to lose money, and I want people to be responsible for themselves, for their own lives, for their own safety, and yet I still care about people, one of us is missing some critical piece of information. And it may very well be me. I don't discount that possibility. I'm just asking you to extend the same courtesy to me. I don't discount the possibility that I'm the one missing that critical piece of info. But I look at my policies. I look at my policies of widespread legal gun ownership. I look at my policies of capitalist economy, of deregulation, and of government mostly keeping their hands off of how people and businesses run their lives and their existences. So, ask yourself, what information am I missing? What does this guy know that I don't? And in all fairness, ask yourself, what is this guy missing? What can I tell this guy? What can I teach this guy, North Sea Hero? What bits of information can I give him that will take this person, this guy, North Sea Hero, who cares about people? What can I tell him or teach him that will bring him toward my ideas that are correct? You don't have to explain to me that I care about people, or that I need to care about people. You don't need to explain to me that I have to care about people, because I already do. Am I wrong in how to care for the people that we both care about? Maybe. If that's the case, tell me why. This is North Sea Hero. Signing. Oh wait, hold on, one moment. I haven't really done this up until now, But here's the thing. I'm not going to ask you to like the video. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe or to leave a comment. I will ask you for one thing. Share this video. Don't like it. Don't subscribe. Don't comment if you don't want to. I know I'm not playing the game very well. I know that telling people to do those things is how you grow. But here's the thing. I'm telling you one thing. Share this video. Text the link to your friend. Share it in your Snapchat group. Take a clip, take a clip out of this and put it up on your TikTok or whatever. Share this video. Edit it, remix it, make YTPs out of it. I'm going to put this video under Creative Commons. I'm going to go back and put all these under YouTube Studio and put all these car vlogs under Creative Commons. Creative Commons attribution. So download this video, re-upload it, share it, remix it, make it into a YTP. Throw clips of it up on TikTok. Make fun of me. Do a review video on my vlogs and tell the whole world why I'm some stupid, dumb, conservative, uneducated redneck who doesn't know what he's talking about. But do me this one favor. Help me get my words out there. So that, if nothing else, the whole world can understand what I'm saying and why it's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the person with bad ideas. Just keep this one thing intact. I'm not a bad person with ideas. I am, at worst, a person with bad ideas. So share these bad ideas with the world with your disclaimer of why it's wrong. Do a review on this video. Make fun of me. Call me a dumb, conservative, Midwestern redneck, whatever you want. I'm making it Creative Commons, dude. Just share this video in some form or another. That's what I'm asking of you today. Now, with that having been said, this is North Sea Hero, signing out.